Recording in progress.
All right. Welcome to my business one-on-one for beginners. It's a very simple presentation summarizing what I've learned over the last 3 years about online business communication, psychology, basically everything that should help you to learn how to position yourself, sell yourself, and grow as a business. So let's start. What we will cover today in this presentation: how to make a great first impression so people trust you are an expert. That's both online and offline. How to overcome all language barriers and accent issues as a non-native. Now, this is good for people who are not natives because some might feel insecure or they might feel people turn them down. That's okay. I'm not native either. English is my third language, and there are ways how to overcome this very easily. How to handle people's objections before they even say them. We'll talk about what objections actually are, how to avoid them, how to solve them, and just basically, so they don't become objections in the future. How to properly follow up with a business to prove you are determined. Now, follow-up is a strong part of business because, well, if you don't, people forget a lot. They get things going on in their life, they get distracted. So if you don't follow up, you don't need to necessarily think that they ignored you. It's just that they might have not noticed. So that's why you follow up, so people notice. Fulfillment. It's how to keep clients and how to build a team around yourself. This is more like a later game. Once you get that client and you fulfill, and you do that again and again and again, and then you are like, oh, I would like to grow as a business. So you start to find people, right? We'll talk about that as well. What is a sales funnel and how to build it? This will be very brief, so just that you understand what's funnel if you don't understand it yet. Then we have bonuses, how to learn copywriting from scratch. Now, if you still want to learn about just copywriting, this is for you. And the bonus too, how to generate leads for your business. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean for a copywriting business. This is any way as a business or like a freelancer that you can generate leads. All right, let's jump straight to the chapter number 1. How to make great first impressions online and offline. Now, I'll just open up these. This is what I will talk about right now. In short, let's start with your profile picture, right? Online, profile pictures matter. You want to be seen clearly. You want to be looking into the camera. You want to be smiling. You want to look friendly. It don't necessarily need to wear a suit or anything. Just make sure that it's easily you, like people can recognize it is you. They can see your face. You are not hiding. You are not wearing reflective sunglasses. They can see your eyes. That's what creates the connection, okay? The second thing, your bio and about. Now, Facebook is shorter, so that one's actually easier. Yeah, I really hope this will not be able to hear. Okay, so about section, come back. About section about you and the bio, you want to make sure that if you are using your social media profiles to generate leads or like for your business, you need to state clearly what you are actually doing and what you can help other people with. So for example, me as a copywriter, I can put something like I'm a direct response copywriter, right? That's not very specific, but people know what you are doing. Then later on, if you want, you can basically put something more specific, like I'm a direct response copywriter for coaches that would like to scale from 5 to 6 figures, for example, right? But it's better to be specific. But if you don't know who you want to work with yet, you don't necessarily have to put anything there. Just make sure that people understand what you do. Your profile picture, I talked about that. Let's get back to profile. Now, when somebody visits your profile, it needs to be clear from a glance to them what you are doing and how you can help them. That way people don't have to spend any decision capacity on if they want to talk to you or not. They're like, okay, this guy can help me, let me talk to him. Or okay, this guy is not what I'm looking for, so let's not waste time talking to him. Okay, you don't want to talk to people you are not supposed to be helping. Now let's talk more about in-person impression. When it comes to in-person impressions, what's going on is your first impression is how you look. That's always the first impression. And the second impression is how you speak and what you speak about. So the first impression is how you look. That's a dress code and your posture. Your dress code means you need to look tidy. You need to look taken care of. You need to look like somebody who cares about himself and his looks, right? It doesn't necessarily mean you need to wear suits all the time or just expensive clothes or anything like that. You just need to be tidy, clean, and looking as a genuine human being who takes care of himself. That's what you need to cover, okay? Whenever you go to public, because you never know who you are going to meet outside that might happen to need your services, okay? I will talk about in-person events later on, but yeah, later on. Your posture. If you are bending forward, if you have rounded shoulders, if you put your head forward and it's just like you're slouching, that does not resemble confidence. That does not resemble like you know you are what you are doing. That does not resemble like you're confident about who you are and what you represent. And if you are not confident, nobody wants to do business with you, because why would anybody trust you with business if you don't trust yourself enough to stand straight? Okay? So this is something, if you have issues with, work on it. Work on it, because being able to stand straight and proud makes a big difference in social structure. People read. Okay, when it comes to people communication, 70% is non-verbal. That means that's your posture, that's your mimics, that's your gestures. That's not anything that you don't say, it's non-verbal. And we communicate 70% in that. That's why it is important for you to stand straight, because you, without speaking, are saying, I'm proud and I'm confident because I stand straight. Okay, now let's go to the communication part, which is the 30 other percent, and also the second impression you are making. That's your voice. How you speak matters. What you speak about matters less than how you speak. Okay, let that soak in. What you say is usually less important than how you say it. When it comes to voice, you want to speak slowly, clearly. That's it. You need to be slow and clear. You don't want to be fast when you're nervous and then you're like, oh, nobody can understand me. What did he say? Oh, wait. Nobody will take you seriously. People think you're hyped up or nervous. Okay? Nobody, don't do that. When it comes to volume, if you are soft-spoken, work on that. Soft-spoken people are not well-respected people, because everybody assumes you are shy, you are soft-spoken, and that way you are a pushover. Like, people have no respect for you. But if you stand straight, you have a strong voice, that automatically resembles confidence. Even if you don't have that confidence, you can fake it with these two things: speaking clearly, slowly, loud enough that people can hear you. Okay, don't scream at them, and standing straight. These few things make a lot of difference in personal meeting. Now, when it comes to men, especially, men have a tendency to shake hands in person. Handshake can tell you a lot about a person. Like, you wouldn't believe it. Remember from your own experience, even doesn't matter how long it is, when you shake somebody's hand, You know, there are people who have a firm handshake. You know, there are people who have a very limp handshake. You know, there are people who try to squeeze your hand as hard as they can. And then there are people who like just like give you a limp hand, you know, and then you squeeze it and it's just like mushy, you know, like what the fuck, that's not a handshake, you know. When it comes to handshake, you want it to be firm, but not hurting, okay? When you shake somebody's hand, take their hand fully, okay? Don't back out so they squeeze only your fingers. It needs to be a full handshake, good eye contact, firm handshake, like, hey, my name is Peter, okay, nice to meet you. If you have a limp handshake and there are people who want to shake hands with you and you just give them a limp handshake, that doesn't resemble well, okay? That does not not resemble, but that does not reflect well on you. It's a small detail, but it matters. Now, I mentioned eye contact during the handshake. Yes, eye contact is very important because many people these days are not capable of looking you in the eyes. Why? Because they are not confident. Confident people will look into your eyes. And then you have like the extreme confident people where they don't look into your eyes on purpose, you know, because they're like, you are not worth it, you know. You can start with looking people straight in the eye, especially when you are talking to them. There's a simple circle when you are talking to somebody in business and you want to focus either on one eye or the other, doesn't matter, just focus on one eye, then maybe switch to the other eye, then maybe nose. Just keep looking into their eyes, okay? That creates connection, that creates that you are there, that you're listening. And the last thing when it comes to making first impression is the mindset. Okay, that's the most important part of all. When you are making a first impression, there will be people who are impressed, there will be people who are neutral, and there will be people who straight out don't like you just by seeing you. Okay, you need to be aware of that. You need to accept that it's okay. You are not meant to be liked by everybody. You are not meant, even you don't like everybody, okay? I'm pretty sure from your own experience, there are people in your life when you just look at them and you're like, yeah, I don't want to be friends with that person, you know? That's okay. That's your inside's way of telling you, okay, stay away, stay clear of that person because you're not supposed to meet him. That's okay. But always have this mindset that you want to appear at ease and confident and calm. Those kind of people are the strongest because if you can be confident and calm in any situation, you're winning. Okay? Now let's move to the next section. What if you are not a native English speaker? Let's start with mindset again. It's okay. It's absolutely okay to not be a native English speaker. You just gotta learn. You know, I don't know what's your current English level. Doesn't matter. If you are able to write fluently, you can do copy. For doing business, you don't need fluent English, depending on the nature of your business. If you are a copywriter, yeah, you do need higher level of English because you are making money by writing things in English, right? But if you have a different business and you're just creating overseas partnerships, you don't need perfect English. As long as you can communicate your ideas, you are fine, okay? If you are a freelancer and you would like to work with US market or like native English market, first of all, you need to learn how to own it and assess how good your skills are. If you are not able to write properly in English, people will not take you seriously. If you make basic mistakes when you speak, people will not take you seriously, okay? There might be even people out there who straight out like laugh at you and they're like, what are you trying to do? You don't even speak English, you know? You might meet people like that and you need to be prepared for that. It's okay. Okay, you will meet many kind of people during your lifetime. Some are assholes, some are nice. Don't worry about that. You worry about yourself. Own it, keep improving. Wait, where am I? Okay, objections. The base idea of this, you own it. You take full responsibility for this, for your language skills, and you own it. You are aware you are not perfect. That's okay. You keep improving. You keep improving by reading in English, by speaking in English, and by listening in English. That's how you increase these three. You want to write better in English, then you write better in English. You want to speak better in English, well, you got to speak more. If you want to be able to understand English better, you need to start listening to more English. That's basically it. You find the series that you like, you play them in English with English subtitles. If you want to get your grammar checked, you can use Grammarly extension for browsers and desktop. That helps, but it doesn't catch everything. Okay, so if you make mistakes, Grammarly doesn't catch. You need to just practice writing. You just practice. You rewrite things that somebody already wrote, and you know they are in good English, right? You just rewrite that by hand. You keep improving, and I guarantee you, over time, if you do this, your English will get better. But you need to have this mindset that doesn't matter my level of English right now, I can make it better. It just needs time. I'm owning this. Okay. There might be objections from people when you want to try to get hired. They're like, wait, but your English is not that good. There are ways how you can deal with this, but the best way how to deal with this is just get better at English, because then you will stop having these objections, you know. There will be people who are willing to hire you as long as you prove that you are aware of your lack of English skill and you are working on it, and you have ways how to guarantee that the work you do will be proved, it will not have mistakes. In that case, you find a proofreader, which is not that expensive or difficult. There are many people with university degrees in English, probably even in your country. Doesn't matter where you live, Africa, Asia, don't care. You know, there will be people who know English better than you. Just find them and let them help you. That's it. Now, next thing, objections handling and how to prevent them. Okay. All objections in general. Now we will talk about mindset and what are objections first. Your mindset has to be calm again. Okay. Doesn't matter the objection, stay calm. Objections are basically people asking you to give them a logical explanation or answer to their decisions. Okay? When somebody is giving you objections, they are interested. They are interested in something. They're interested in talking to you more, in the minimum, the least. They're interested in talking to you more because they're asking you questions. Okay? So when they ask you questions, that's okay. You answer their questions. You want to help them out as much as you can. Don't think about how to twist an objection into a clause or something like that. No, you be genuine. Okay, you be genuine. You find a way. Especially when it comes to B2B, like business to business, sales are easier than business to customer, because you don't have to overcome bullshit objections, which are like mindset objections people have, you know? But in business to business, people are very straightforward. They ask you specific questions, they want specific answers, and they make a specific decision on that. And your mindset needs to be exactly like that. Doesn't matter what they ask me, I am here to help them. I'm here to help them as much as they can to find out if this is a good fit. Okay, they are finding out if this is a good fit as well. So don't be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at them. Just be okay. When it comes to mindset as well, in your journey, you will meet people who are straight out assholes. Okay, you will talk to people that you will feel they don't trust you from the very second you pop into the call. From that first very second, they are just trying to find ways how not to trust you and why not hire you. That's okay. There are people like that, and don't worry about them too much. Just find it out, and if you feel that that's true, you can go into, so hey, Peter, I have a feeling you are not trusting me at all, and you're just finding, like, looking for reasons why not to hire me. It, that gives me a feeling, that I should not really be here, and we can just end the call there. We don't really have a reason to continue. Now, they will either tell you, yes, that's true, or they will tell you, no, 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 I'd like to continue and find out more. And then you continue and you find out if it's going to work or not, okay? But overall, rule of thumb, people that are being hard just to talk to, are going to be hard to work with even more. Work with people it's easy to talk to for you. Don't work with people you have communications issues with, because that will translate into work and that will suck ass, okay? Now, a lot of objections can be overcome by positioning. Okay, many people might have objections like, how do I know you are good enough? Have you done this before? How do I know you speak good enough English? All these kind of things, okay? And how you overcome it is really just by positioning, the right positioning. So that's, for example, your profile, okay? If you have a nice profile picture, you have a nice bio, you have a nice banner, and in your profile, you speak about what you do, you show your expertise, you show results that you've brought to other clients before. If somebody calls you, they will know you already produce results. So your positioning is strong and you don't need to sell them that you are the right person because they're already sold, okay? A lot of objections can be covered with positioning. For example, some people might have issues with like age. So if you are too young or too old, doesn't matter, that there might be somebody who has an objections. Wait, aren't you too young or aren't you too old to do this? When if you are too young, you can be like, yeah, I'm young, but compared to other people, I'm also much more higher energy. I'm more driven and I'm more hungry. I'll make this work for you even if you like it or not. Make it as a strength. If you are old, you can just say like, yeah, I'm old, I have experience, I have lifetime experience from various niches, and that compounded into me being an expert in what I do today, and that's why I can help you. Okay, again, turn it into strength. What else about positioning? Yeah, positioning is basically what you share outside, okay, what you share publicly. So that's exactly your results, what you do, how you do it, for who you do it, all these kind of things. If you share these things online, people will understand that, and that's your positioning, okay? Objections handling and sales in general, it just comes down to practice. It's a skill. It's a skill like many other things. If you want to get good at it, you just do it. You will meet people where you can't handle the objection. That's okay. You might lose the sale. That's okay. We come back to mindset. Okay. Sales is a numbers game. Business is a numbers game. There might be 10 people who tell you no, and the 11th will tell you yes. There might be 30 people who tell you no, and the 31st will tell you yes. There's always going to be a person that will tell you yes, as long as you go through enough people. Okay, that's the practice. Because if you go through 30 people and they all tell you no, and you reflect back, why did they tell you no? You will find out how you can improve. What you can as well do is, after they tell you no, you can be like, oh, that's all right, no hard feelings. Now, could you please help me out? Could you tell me specifically why you decided to not work with me? So I know if it's something that I can work on, I will improve over time, that it will not be an issue for me in the future. Most of the people are nice people. They want to help you out. They will tell you, You don't have the right voice, like you can't write in my voice, or I don't like your accent, or I don't like your attitude, or I don't think we are a good fit because you have a different goal and mindset. Okay, that's okay. They're not telling you because you suck. They are telling you no because they don't see it as a good fit. Okay, you might suck, but if they tell you you can improve, okay, it's okay to suck. Everybody sucks in the beginning. I sucked as in the beginning as well. Damn, I still suck a lot, but it's not as bad as a few years ago. Practice. Okay, now we talked about practice. Guess what's next? Yeah, you guessed it. That's more practice, because what it comes down to, numbers game, homework. That's more practice basically, right? You do your homework, you reach out to people, you close people, you talk to people, you find out what they want, and you just go through it. From my experience, the easiest way to handle objections is position yourself as an expert from the very beginning of the call. So you asking questions about their business, trying to understand what their business is about, what their plans are, how do they want to grow, where do they think you can help them, and then based on that, you assess it and you find a way how you can help them the best. Okay? Now, keep in mind, if you are talking to the kind of person that just wants to tell you no from the very beginning, you will feel it. And like, don't worry about those, okay? Now, here's a homework for you as well. You go on Facebook right now at this moment, like you just pause the presentation, you put on into Facebook Copywriters Clubhouse. It's a Facebook group for copywriters. You don't have to be a copywriter to benefit from this, okay? You don't have to be a copywriter to get into this group. And when you get inside this group, it's run by Josh Rosenberg. Josh Rosenberg is one of the best paid copywriters in the world. Great guy, smart as hell, and he knows a lot about sales and positioning. That's how he's paid so well, because his positioning is great, okay? And he has free video guides in that group, like 7, I think. They are all about sales, positioning, closing. That's what they are mostly about. And if you watch them, you will learn a ton about positioning. I can go around, like tell you for an hour what he tells, you know, I can go, but I have the rest of the presentation to go through. So you go to Copywriters Clubhouse, you join the group, you watch the videos, okay? Because if you don't watch them, there's no fucking point for you joining there. You watch the videos and then you apply them, okay? Now the important thing is to apply, so practice. Practice makes perfect. Always has, always will, okay? You know the difference between master and apprentice? Master has failed more times than the apprentice has even tried. Okay? So the more you try, the better you become. Yeah, my amazing presentation. Let's go to how to properly follow up now. By now, you should have joined the group. Okay, you should have applied for it. It's okay. If you haven't, go do that now. It's seriously helpful. How to properly follow up. We'll talk mindset, thick skin, numbers game, care, find what works for you. Now I'll start with mindset. When you're following up, you need to understand people are busy. They have their own lives to deal with. They're not just waiting for your email and like just waiting. Oh my God, Peter wrote me, I have to answer now. No, most of the people are not like that. You are probably not like that. Fuck, I'm not like that. Okay. I love it when somebody reaches out to me and they need help, and then I kind of forget to answer, and then they get back to me in a day or two as a follow-up. I'm like, hey, thanks for reminder. I completely forgot because I have a lot of things on my mind. Many people do. Okay. So if somebody doesn't reply to your first email, don't take it personally. It's okay. If somebody doesn't reply to your first message, it's okay. Don't take it personally. There's nothing wrong with you. They are just busy. Okay. When you keep this in mind, you will not get discouraged if they don't reply to you immediately. That would be stupid to get discouraged, okay? Because you just tried once. There are specific businesses that actually want you to follow up a few times or even many times to see how determined you are to work with them, okay? So when it comes to follow up, you always want to come with value. You want to follow up every 3 to 4 work days and you come up with value, which means, hey, Peter, I'm just following up to see if you got my first email. I found this article that I believe will be helpful to you and your business. Okay, it needs to be genuinely helpful, not just some kind of random article. Or I made a short YouTube video for you about 3 things you can improve in your business right now to make more money. Okay, and you keep doing this until they get back to you. Usually people get back to me within 1 or 2 emails. It's very rare that they don't get back to me. Okay, it's usually that they get back to me by like 2nd email or 3rd latest. And if I need to follow up more, usually there's no point. But then again, me personally, I didn't have to do much cold outreach because most of my clients come from referrals. Okay. So I don't do much cold outreach, but if you do cold outreach, do follow up at least 5 to 6 times to see where it's at. That basically gives you at least a month or 2. Okay, so follow up for maybe 2 months and see where that is. Thick skin, I talked about that in the beginning right now. Some people will tell you that please erase my email from your email list. Okay, even if you wrote a personalized specific message to that person, they might tell you, don't talk to me, don't write me anymore. That's okay. People will say no, it's a numbers game. Don't take it personally. There's nothing wrong with you. They're just not the right fit. Okay, it's not personal. It's a numbers game. Even though it is a numbers game, you should still care. You should still care in a way that you don't just create one email template and then send it to 1,000 people. No, don't do that. Be personal, be specific. Businesses appreciate that, okay? Make sure to mention some specific things you like about their business. Make sure to say some specific things you could improve in their business specifically, okay? And maybe speak about yourself a little bit, what makes you specifically a good fit for their business specifically, okay? And by practice, you will find out what works for you. It needs to feel natural for you, okay? It needs to feel like you are not forcing it too much, like you are not pretending to be somebody you are not, okay? And yeah, you just keep going at it, because when what it comes down to, always and again, practice. That's it. Let's continue. Let's say you found your first client. Now it's time to fulfill. Let's say you found your 10th client. You can start keeping them and you can start building teams. Okay, so we'll start first with the fulfillment attitude. The first thing you gotta keep in mind when it comes to fulfillment and client retention is the delivery of your work. You need to be on time or earlier. Okay, so no missed deadlines. If you miss deadlines, they automatically distrust you. If you miss deadlines, you are not reliable. If you are not reliable, they will not work with you long term. Okay? You need to be reliable. You need to provide the best work you can. So if you are not currently at the skill you feel confident, like you can deliver great work, find somebody who can help you with it. Okay? If you are a copywriter, you can, for example, reach out to me and be like, hey, Peter, I wrote this for a client and I'm not sure if it's good enough. Then I will look through it and I'll be like, yeah, dude, it's good enough. Or like, nah, dude, it's not good enough. You know, do this instead. Find somebody who can help you, somebody who has more experience than you, somebody who already achieved what you are trying to achieve, and ask them for help. Okay, it's okay to ask people for help. but build relationship first. Okay, don't just reach out to strangers. Like if you're a copywriter, don't just reach out to Stefan and be like, hey Stefan, can you please give me some feedback on this copy? Thanks. Okay, that will much likely not work because Stefan gets a lot of those. So be helpful to people you want help from. Try to be nice, try to ask about their day, but be genuine. Okay, build genuine relationships with people. Expectations. When you are talking to a potential client and you are like, oh yeah, let's do this, you need to set the right expectations. You need to understand what do they want exactly, when do they want it exactly, and how do they want it exactly. Okay, you need to understand that you can deliver what they want, when they want, and how they want. If you find out that they want a project to be done in, let's say yesterday, and you are full until 2 weeks, you have to tell them no, okay? Don't be greedy. If the client is no fit, just tell them, I can't do this for you at this moment. It's okay to say no to a client just because it's not a good fit, okay? Don't be greedy, don't be needy, because if you take projects, you don't feel confident, like, okay, if you take projects, you know from the beginning are going to be pain in the ass, well, guess what? They are going to be pain in the ass, okay? And if you don't set the expectations right, this is what happens at the beginning because you don't have that much practice and experience. People usually agree to work, they don't set any deadline, they don't set any expectation, and then misunderstandings happen. And then you have to deal with misunderstandings. People might get mad, people might be like, oh wait, I thought this would be this and that. Oh wait, no. Ah, okay, but I don't want to pay for this, okay? So set the expectations right so the client understands what you can do for them, for when and for how much, what are the expectations from you, and what are the expectations from them. That's important. Responsibility. I talked about this. You need to be responsible for your own actions. You deliver on time, you deliver high quality work, you go above and beyond, always. If you want to have good relationships with clients, because remember, it's easier to keep a client than find a new one. If you want to build good relationships with them, you need to be responsible. Nobody wants to work with somebody who's not responsible and reliable. Long-term mindset. Okay, so thinking long-term mindset is, if it's a client that has potential long-term work for you, don't be greedy, don't necessarily be greedy in the beginning. Let's say you want to charge 2,000 for a project and they're like, that's a little bit steep for me at this moment, you know? What you can do instead, be like, well, tell you what, I like you. We seem like a good fit. So how about this? You can pay me 60%. You know, you can pay me 60%. I do the work. And then if you think like it's worth it, you pay me the rest after, you know? You might get fucked over this way though. But you have to fill it out. Business is a lot about trust. Okay, a lot about trust. There are many things that go unsaid because you just trust somebody and they trust you. So what you want to do is have the long-term mindset in a way that don't necessarily turn down a client because he's not willing to meet all of your expectations at the beginning, if potentially he will meet them over time. Okay. Retention. Exactly what I talked about. You need to be responsible, you need to be reliable, you need to be on time, keep deadlines, deliver high quality work. They need to know what to expect from you. They need to know that you deliver good work on time. And when they have that expectation from you, it's easier to retain them. Now, you've already figured out this, okay, you are in the future and you are like, I easily find clients, I can keep them. It's time for me to scale. I want to have an agency, for example, okay? So we want to start to build a team. When it comes to building a team, you want the same qualities that I just talked about. You want reliable people, people who you can rely on, they deliver on time, they deliver high quality work. and there's trust and responsibility. Okay. More important, if you want to work with them, definitely you need to get along. If it's somebody you don't get along naturally, don't work with them. It's gonna be a shit show. Okay, don't work with people you don't get along with. Exactly, the right people, you need the right people to work with. And how do you find them? You talk to them. Now, if you, let's say, find somebody to work with you, or even if you like create a partnership with somebody and later on you find out that it's actually not a good fit, be quick to fire. Be quick to fire, because the more time you waste with those people, the more time you take away from being able to be with people that are a good fit. Okay, so if you find out somebody is not a good fit and you can't do anything about it, like you try talking to them but they still don't do what you want them to do, fire them fast. It's gonna be much easier for you and them at the same time. And then in the end, what's the name of this game? This game, as in the business game, it's called Perseverance. Perseverance. Funny English word. The name of this game is Staying Long. Okay. The winner is the guy or the girl that stays the longest, that doesn't give up, that keeps going, keeps hustling, and keeps growing. Those are the winners in the long term. And long term is the name of business. There are businesses in Japan that are like several hundred years old. They are profitable because they are thinking long term. Okay. If you want your business to be profitable, you need to think long term as well. If you have some fuck ups, it's okay. That happens. Stand up, move on. That's it. That's the whole magic bullet, magic trick. Like that's the magic behind the whole business success. You just keep going and you wait as everybody else around you gives up, then you are the only one left there. That's it. Next chapter. Let's talk sales funnels now. Now I'll talk about these things. What is a sales funnel? Its goals, why is not, starting from scratch. Sales funnel in general is a way for business to get clients online or even like offline, okay? So a sales funnel can look like you find an ad, okay? That's the first step of the sales funnel. You click on that ad, it asks for your email and first name so it can send you an ebook, for example, right? You are a lead that's entering somebody's sales funnel at that point. If you want to download their ebook, you give them your email and first name, you are a lead. Now you will get, and you should get, either a phone call or email sequence, or you get retargeted ads. Basically, they want you to continue down the funnel. Okay, right now you are a cold lead. You just got the ebook. So let's say you read the ebook and at the end of the ebook it says, book a call. That's the next step of the funnel. You book a call because you are interested in what they have to offer you more. You talk to their sales representative. You might find out that, okay, it's a good fit. You move on. They close you. You are inside of the funnel. Okay, you went through their funnel. That's the simple one. Goals of funnel are very simple. It's make a deal, make a sale, get the lead, get the click, get the sale. That's always the point of the funnel. If you are a freelancer, your funnel can look like, for example, offer people a free ebook that will help them with something that you help people usually with, or teach them something. You get their email address, and then you send them an email sequence. And at the end of this email sequence, you basically invite them to book a call with you. And that's your funnel. Okay, that's a funnel basically, because you are leading a prospect from point A to point B to point C to point D. And then in the end, when they're at Z, you get a close, you get a sale. Funnels can be long, funnels can be short, funnels can be complicated, they can be simple as well. It's very simple. Now, whys and why nots. Why to do a funnel? It's really fun because if you have a funnel, you create a way for people how to get into your world. If you don't have any funnels, if you don't have any ways for people to get into your world, well, you are basically preventing them to buy from you. You are preventing them yourself to buy from because you don't make a way for them to buy. Okay, so funnel is a good way for people to buy. Why not? Funnels can backfire in a way that if it's a bad funnel, you get the lead and then the lead can decide, oh wait, this is a jackass. Okay, I will leave this guy. So if you have a bad funnel, it can drive people away from you. Okay, so make sure you have a good funnel. And when it comes to starting from scratch, you can exactly start as simple as making a Facebook post, inviting people to for a free assessment, you know, or a free call about something, or like offer free help, you know, get them inside, get the lead, build the trust. The point of funnels is build the trust. So you get called inside and then in the end you are ready to buy. Okay. Sales funnels in general, everybody uses sales funnels in some way or another. If you talk about sales funnels offline, for example, let's say you find a leaflet or like an ad in a bus, you know, just a normal ad on a paper in a bus, and it says, "Come to our clinic for a free health assessment." That's the first step of their funnel. You come to the clinic for a free health assessment. They test you, they assess your health, they give you results, and then the next step in the funnel would be, for example, we find something. Okay, if we find something and you decide to treat it here with us, you get a 20% discount, right? That's how they get you in. That's their funnel. First, you find an ad, you get insight for the free assessment, you get your assessment, and then the next step is either to continue treating yourself, or even if they don't find anything, they can be like, hey, since you came for a free assessment, there's a gift for you in the future. If you find out there's something you need help with, like you need medical attention, you can reach out to us. We'll give you 20% off from your first treatment. And that's their incentive of getting back to you more, right? Because they get rewarded by coming to you, but that's still a funnel. Okay, let's continue. Now, that's basically the main stuff that we talked about. Now we'll go into how to learn copywriting from scratch. And I'll talk about all these amazing things. I'll start with expectations. Many people, when they get into copywriting, they expect to be making few thousand in a few months. That's usually not the way it goes, at least not for the most people. Yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are people who are making 10,000 a month in like half a year, but that's rare. That's rare as fuck. Okay, so don't expect to have fast results like that. If you are learning to be a copywriter, you need to understand that as a freelancer, you are not only learning how to copyright, you are also learning how to sell, you are learning how to brand yourself, you are learning how to market yourself, you are learning how to position yourself. You are getting an entire palette of skills that you need to learn. Okay? Freelancing is not easy. Having a job is easy because you just go to job, you do your work, and you are done. Okay, you get paid. Here, as a freelancer, you need to do much more than that, and there's no certainty of getting paid. So before you get into freelancing or like copywriting, make sure you're ready to take the risk. Okay, there's a way for people to transition. If you have a full-time job, you can start learning freelancing on the side. So you still keep your job, but you are also learning something on the side. So later on you can switch. Okay. I talked about the reality. Reality is most of the people don't make it because freelancing is hard. So most of the people don't make it big. Okay. That I need to correct myself, because yes, you can make money with copywriting. And if you stay around 1K, 2K, that's not that difficult. That takes maybe half a year or maybe a year to get to. But you need to understand that it's not going to be that much, and you're going to have to keep learning and keep compiling those skills. Okay, now that's the mindset part. You need to have a growth mindset. If you want to learn a skill, you need to be driven by growth. Because if you learn one thing and then you don't apply it to learn how it actually works, but you're just learning and compiling and not doing anything with it, there's no point. You keep learning and you keep failing, and then you keep learning more from failing. That's the mindset you need to have if you want to be successful in business or as a freelancer or in life in general. You need to have strong, thick skin, because you will fall a lot. But success is basically failing 7 times, getting up 8. That's success. Focus. If you want to be a copywriter, pick one thing. Pick either email, ads, long form copy, short form copy, anything. Just pick one thing. I recommend people pick emails first, because they are easiest to learn and easiest to make money with, because everybody needs emails. So just start with emails. And once you are making 5, 10K with emails, I'm talking dollars a month, then you can start learning something different. But if you just dial down on emails, you can be easily making 10K in a year if you focus and if you have mindset of growth. Okay. Now I mentioned this already, is the compound effect. As you are learning in business as a freelancer or as a business owner, or even as an individual, you keep learning and compiling new skills. And that's a compound effect. Each new skill you learn will benefit from everything you learned until then. And it's much stronger together than individually. So keep learning new things, keep that compound effect growing. It's like interest. Okay, so let's say you put into a bank €100 today. Next year, you're gonna have there like maybe €200. Year after that, it's gonna be €400. Year after that, it's gonna be €800. Okay, so it like multiplies by each year, because there's the more money there is, the more money you will have. It's the same with skills. The more skills you have, the more money you can make. Now there's a simple way how to learn copywriting. You get hired by an agency. Just find an agency that is looking for an entry-level copywriter and do what they tell you. That's basically having a job, but it's having a job as a copywriter. So you don't need to do any prospecting. You don't need to talk to clients. You don't need to do anything like that. You just focus on copywriting itself. You focus on that skill alone. Okay, that's it. Thick skin, mentioned that you will fail a lot. Don't worry about that. Just make sure, even though you fail, you try again. Okay, that's freelancing in general. Skills needed, talked about that. You need to learn about closing, sales, marketing, branding, positioning, and copywriting as well, right? So that's why the last thing is think about it. It's okay if you have a job, you like the job, and if you want to make more money in the job, there are ways how to make more money in your current job. If you don't like your current job, well, switch a job. Okay, nobody, like, it's not mandatory for you to stay at that job. It's just not. You can make that switch, and 10 out of 10 times it's worth it. Okay, even if it might not be worth it the first month or two, it's worth it in the long run. So make sure you think about it and you make the decision that you feel confident about and that you feel good about. Okay. Now we come to how to generate leads. I'll just skim through this basically because we are nearing an hour and I would like to finish in an hour. Now, there are many ways how you can generate leads. You can write cold messages through direct messages on LinkedIn or in Facebook, for example. You can write cold emails to people. I talked about those. Sharing results and sharing expertise on your profile. Okay, so when you work with somebody, you create some results, you talk about it on your social media. That will make sure that people know you are an expert, and when they need the same kind of results, they reach out to you. Okay, sharing expertise, same thing. You share your experience, you share how you overcame troubles, you share how you solved problems for your clients. Okay, that's sharing expertise. That's how people reach out to you. Now you have to keep in mind value up front. If you want to get something, you need to give something first. Always. You don't first get and then give. You always give and then get. Value upfront can be anything. Value upfront can be, if you are a copywriter, you can write how to write welcome email sequence for an e-com store. You write a post like that, you send it somewhere where people might see it, and then people are like, oh yeah, that's nice. He seems like somebody who knows what he's talking about. Now, expectations about sharing expertise in social media content, it takes time to build, because first of all, you need to have a lot of friends. You need to have a lot of connections, because if you have 100 friends and you create a Facebook post that only your friends can see, well, guess what, Sherlock? Not many people are going to relate to that, because out of those 100 people, maybe one or two might be actually business people. Okay, so make sure to add people constantly, especially people who are in business, so that way they can consume your content and see you are an expert. Relationships. You meet many people online, you meet many people offline, you create good relationships. Please, if you are looking for ways how to network properly, you reach out to John Caprani. John Caprani on Facebook, you just reach out to him and be like, hey John, I'd like to learn how to network properly, and he should give you some materials. The guy is a genius when it comes to this. And when you create genuine relationships with people, you will never struggle with clients. Okay, for example, genuine relationships also with other freelancers. So let's say you have a friend who's a designer and he gets a client who needs emails, and you're a copywriter who writes emails. So he reaches out to you because you have a good relationship, and he's like, hey dude, can you please help me out with this? I'll cut you something from the deal, right? They refer work to you because you are an expert in your field. And if they can offer another service to their clients, it reflects good on them as well. Referrals. If you do a great job for somebody and you agree up front that they will give you a referral, they will give you referrals. Okay. Once you are established, start getting on podcasts. When you kind of know what you are talking about, get on podcasts. You would be surprised how many clients you can get from podcasts. You just like talk about anything, what the podcast is about. Might be about your expertise, might be your experience, might be something you want to teach people, doesn't matter. Okay, just get on podcasts. Later on as well, what shows good is paid ads. If you, for example, write ads for people and you have your own ads running for you, that shows you are not only talking, you also do what you preach. And that's a strong credibility boost. And then last but not least, live events. I talked about this briefly in the beginning. When you come to a live event, you want to make sure that you come there to network, okay? Not like offer your services. By network, I mean talk to them, find out what they are doing, and find out if you know somebody who could help them with something they are dealing with. It might not be necessarily you. If it's you, that's cool. But if it's not you and they need somebody else help, and you know that somebody, you hook them up together. Okay, you put those people together and they are both happy to you afterwards. They're both grateful, okay, because you made business for them just by introducing them to each other. So with live events, you want to still keep in mind value up front. You want to give people advice. You want to show expertise. You don't want to blatantly pitch yourself. Okay, no elevator pitches. Just come to the events, talk to the people, see if there are any ways how you can help, or see if there are any people you know that could help them, and build long-term relationships. That's As I mentioned a few slides before, the name of this game is perseverance, long term, long run, marathon. Okay. So think long term, because if you build long term relationships with people, there will come a time where you're just like, I have so much work that I have to actually outsource it, because you have so many good people reaching out to you who need your help. Okay. But that's basically it. That's the whole presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. You just write me a DM, and yeah, ask anything that I haven't answered yet, really. And just ask me. I don't think I put, oh yeah, thank you. Connect with me on Facebook. Always send me a DM. Yeah, if you want to connect with me on Facebook, you send me a direct message as well. Because if I see just a friend request and I don't know you, I will much likely not accept it. I'm very picky to who I accept into my friends list, because I'm around like 3,000 people. So I don't accept anybody. You write me a DM that you're like, hey Peter, I saw the presentation. I have a question about this. I will talk to you. Okay, you just need to send me a message. Right. I just realized I didn't put my name anywhere here, but that's okay. Like that's fine. You will know who to write to. But that's it. You have questions, reach out to me. I hope this was helpful. Take care, have fun, and remember, it's a long-term game. Okay, so long-term thinking and long-term building. Have fun.